Hey everybody, welcome back to Travel Trailer Nation. Today I want to talk about campgrounds being like Pringles potato chips, if there's any like that. I'll use KOA as an example, and I do have a KOA card. I am not a KOA hater. In fact, there are very nice KOAs. The ones that come to mind are like the Dodge City, Kansas KOA, Badlands South Dakota KOA, the Pueblo South Colorado, Jackson, Minnesota, and the Checkasaw Lake Eufaula KOA. Those are all KOAs that we've enjoyed, and they're very nice. But once upon a time, all the KOAs were basically the same. You knew what you were going to get when you pulled into a KOA, and it seemed like most were just carbon copies of each other, and I liked that. You'd pull in, you knew what you were going to get and what the pricing would be, and back in the dark ages, the pricing was all very similar. Now, the world has changed, and there's three different types of KOAs, but does the pricing make sense? For the most part, I'm going to use pull-through pricing so that we can kind of compare apples to apples. Now, I wanted to talk about how they've structured the KOAs now. You have the journey, which is the low end. We're expecting you to roll in and roll out. That's basically, you're on your way, easy in, easy out. The next one would be the holiday. That's their mid-range, so more amenities. You'd expect to pay a little bit more. And then, of course, there's the resort, which is their top end and offers a lot. So Memphis, Tennessee journey is anywhere from $64 to $76. The Rapid City, South Dakota holiday, and remember that's in the middle, is surprisingly $45 to $67.50. Badlands, White River holiday, another mid-range, $64 to $104 a night. And then the Okeechobee KOA resort in Florida, and I hope I said that right, is $88 to $114. So as you step up the scale, you're expecting to get more for your money. Now, obviously, these KOAs aren't governed by corporate set pricing. They're independently operated, and KOA plainly states on their site they are managed locally, and their prices are set by the owner or manager of the property. So much for Pringles. This is my take on the KOA campgrounds. Some are fantastic and some are less than fantastic, and some are, quite frankly, terrible. And if you read our book, I go where I'm told, you'll hear a couple stories about that. Now, looking at the pricing, and sometimes you might be better off to actually upgrade from the journey to a holiday, because as we see in their pricing structure, sometimes the holiday actually falls underneath the journey that might be in the same area. So you may end up with a nicer KOA to stay at, although nicer is very subjective, nice compared to what. I can tell you that I think every Texas state park that I've ever camped at is nicer than any KOA I've ever stayed at, regardless. Of course, the kids aren't going to have mini golf. They're not going to have a pool. And so there isn't going to be a lot of activities for the kids. But as far as the spacing of the sites, being private is very nice. And when you talk about pricing, you're not going to be able to get that kind of pricing anywhere else. And the same goes with county campgrounds or Army Corps of Engineer campgrounds as well. Now, what does KOA have going for it? Well, at least most of the time, they're easy on and easy off. There are exceptions to that where we've had to get off the road and maybe drive 10 miles from the highway, which I don't plan that. Sometimes I just got a feeling that it was, when I looked at the map, that it was closer than it really was. If you've been driving all day and you want a one-night stay en route, KOAs are probably the way to go. And regardless of what you're going to pay for a journey, if it's a little bit more expensive, that's just the price you're going to have to pay if you want to get on and off quickly on the route to your destination. Now, If it's pricing you're really concerned about, I have to say I am not a big fan of staying in a Walmart parking lot and or any chain restaurant parking lot. A campground is always going to provide you with more security than that. However, I'm not paying upwards of $100 for a KOA site. So if KOA is your thing, and for a lot of people it is, do your research on the different KOAs and see if in the area you're planning to stop for the night, if you might not be able to upgrade yourself from a journey to a holiday or a resort and actually save some money. I mean, it's possible. You saw from the pricing that you could probably lock into a better price even upgrading at the KOA. So what's the point of this? The long and the short is that there's no Pringles potato chip campgrounds anymore. You're going to find variability in campground chains no matter who they are. It's best to do your research on the campgrounds and make sure that you reserve in advance so you can actually get a spot and then pull the trigger. There are some great apps that can help you look into the campground that you're interested in staying at because reviews mean a lot. Campendium, RV Parky, or The Dirt all allow you to search campgrounds and reviews for free. So I would highly recommend you put those apps on your phone, and as you're researching where you want to stay, you look at the reviews. And believe me, you can still look at Google as well and see what the reviews are there. Tammy has saved us from staying at a few what I would call probably not great campgrounds just by doing that. Lastly, please don't be chain campground campers. You're going to miss out on so much by not staying in a county, state, COE campground. The pricing's better, the spacing, the beauty is more, and you're going to see more of the country when you open yourself up to doing that. So anyway, I would say this too. If you have doubts about how nice some of these campgrounds are, go to Chatfield State Park in Colorado. You'll get there and you'll say, I don't ever want to leave. I'd like to move here. That's how beautiful it is. And there's many like that, Paladuro State Park as well in Texas. So take your time, do your research, and book a great campground. Get out there, see the country. There's no better way than in your travel trailer. Until next time, happy camping.